Kia ora koutou. It's now gone 12:30 and it's my pleasure to be able to open the inaugural meeting of the Taupō District Council for this triennium. Can we please rise for a karakia? Thank you everyone, and just like to acknowledge that this karakia was a gift to Taupō District Council as a reflection of our values. For those that don't know me, my name is Julie Gardine and I'm the Chief Executive here at Taupō District Council. The purpose of today's meeting is a special meeting, and it's to welcome our Mayor and Councillors-elect, to ask them to make their declarations, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to congratulate them all again. A warm welcome to friends, family, members of the public and media that are able to join us in the audience today and actually online for today's meeting too. For clarification on the process, I will be chairing this meeting until the Mayor-elect has made his declaration, and at that point the Mayor will assume chair of the meeting. Just a reminder that this meeting is being recorded and uploading to Council's YouTube channel. We also have media in the audience today, I understand, all coming, and that will be filming as well. And of course it's a special occasion, so if people wish to film or take photos, please feel free to do. Thank you everybody. Right, we'll start the meeting. So the first item of business today is apologies. There being none, we'll note that. Number 3 on the agenda is conflicts of interest related to any items on today's agenda. There being none, we're racing through. Confirmation of minutes, of course there are none. And then we're really on to the first item of today, which is the declaration by Mayor. So at this point I will be asking Mayor-elect John Fennell to make his declaration.
Thank you, Julie. I, William John Fennell, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skills and judgment. Geez, I need a glass of water. I'm not nervous, but I'll start again. I, William John Fennell, declare and will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of the Taupo District the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Mayor of the Taupo District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. These duties include the requirements under clause 15.4 and 16 of the 7th schedule to the Local Government Act 2002 to comply with the Taupo District Council Code of Conduct and the Taupo District Council Standing Orders. Happy to sign. I should just perhaps interrupt proceedings here and say thank you to all that have come along today, but especially a very special friend of mine, Dame Georgina Tihuhu, who has been my cultural advisor and guardian over many years, but especially all my friends and family and Chrissy. Thank you for taking the time to be here today, but Georgina, a special thank you to you for the guidance that you've given to me.
Thank you, His Worship the Mayor, John Fennell. Now on to the next agenda item, which is item 5.2, declaration by councillors. Again, we'll be working our way around the room to make the declarations and for me to witness the signature of those. We'll be working our way around the room by surname, so alphabetical order by surname. There's a number of people obviously that you want to take photos of as we work our way through, and I understand His Worship the Mayor may wish to speak at the end as well of this item. So we'll be starting with Councillor Campbell.
Thank you. I, Duncan Richard Campbell, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of the Taupō district the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Councillor of the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act not conflicting with the best interests and well-being of the Taupō district and its people. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16 of the 7th schedule to the Local Government Act 2002 to comply with the Taupō District Council Code of Conduct and the Taupō District Council Standing Orders. Signed.
I, Nicola Delator, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Taupō District the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Councillor for the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16 of the 7th schedule to the Local Government Act 2002 to comply with the Taupō District Council Code of Conduct and the Taupō District Council Standing Orders.
Congratulations, Councillor.
Ko au he uri o Ngāti Tūwhare toa ko ngā huia Katarina Foreman e whakapuake nei ka mau pono me te tō keke atu. E ai ki o kupukenga me o ku whakawātanga ka whakatutuki me ka mahia i ngā painga mo te rohe o Taupo. Te mana me ngā mahi e pai i pāngai ka tukuna mai ki ahau he kaunihera mo te rohe o Taupo. E ai ki te ture o te kaunihera ārohe, rua kore kore rua, te mana kāwanatanga ārohe, e ai ki ngā ture ārongo me te ture mo te huihuinga tahi iwa waru whitu ki ētahi atu ture rānei. Kei roto i aua mahi ngā tikanga kei ngā wāhanga, te kaumārima wāhanga i ti whā me te wāhanga te kaumaono o te pukapuka āpiti wāhanga whitu ki te ture kāwanatanga ārohe rua kore kore rua, hei whakatika atu ki te ture whanonga mo te kaunihera ārohe o Taupo. Me ngā tūnga whakahau no te kaunihera ārohe o Taupo. I don't have a pen. Oh, sorry. Congratulations. Who did I speak on?
I, Sandra Rose Greenslade, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Taupō District the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Councillor of the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16th of the 7th Schedule to the Local Government Act 2002 to comply with the Taupō District Council Code of Conduct and the Taupō District Council Standing Orders.
I, Kylie Ann Leonard, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interest of Taupō District the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a Councillor of the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16 of the 7th Schedule to the Local Government Act 2002 to comply with the Taupō District Council Code of Conduct and the Taupō District Council Standing Orders.
Ko au, ko Stephen Huriwaka Manunui e whakapuaki nei ka maupono me te tōke ki atu. E ai ki oku pukinga me oku whakawātanga ka whakatūtuki me ka mahia I ngā painga mō te rohe o Taupō. The powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Councillor of the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16 of the 7th Schedule to the Local Government Act 2002. Hei whakatika atu ki te ture o whanaunga mo te kaunihera o arohe o Taupō, me ngā tūnga whakahau no te kaunihera arohe o Taupō. Sign away.
Tēnā koe Julie, o tira, tēnā koutou e te whare. Ko au, ko wahine tapu mu cheuri no ngā tisu whare toa. E whakapua ki nei ka maupono me te tōke ke atu, e ai ki oku pukinga me oku whakawātanga, ka whakatūtuki me ka mahia I ngā painga mo te rohe o Taupō, te mana me ngā mahi ka pāngia, ka tukuna mai kia hau hei kai kaunihira mo te rohe o Taupō, e ai ki te ture mo ngā kaunihira arohe 2 Te mana kāwanatanga arohe e ai ki ngā ture ārongo me te ture mo ngā huihuinga kutahi. Mano e iwarau e wari te kaumā whetu ki etahi atu ture rānei. Kei roto I aua mahi ngā tikanga kei ngā pūtohu te kaumā 5 nama 4 me te kaumā 6 o te pukapuka apiti pūtohu nama 7 ki te ture kāwanatanga arohe 2 hei whakatika atu ki te ture a whanonga mo te kaunihira arohe o Taupō me ngā tūnga whakahau no te kaunihira arohe o Taupō.
I, Christine Catherine Rankin McIntyre, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of Taupō District the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Councillor of the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16 of the 7th schedule to the Local Government Act 2002 to comply with the Taupō District Council Code of Conduct and the Taupō District Council standing orders.
Sorry, Christine.
I, Rachel Lee Shepherd, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Taupō District the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Councillor of the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16 of the 7th schedule of the Local Government Act 2002 to comply with the Taupō District Council Code of Conduct and the Taupō District Council standing orders.
I, Kevin Stanley Taylor, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Taupō District the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Councillor of the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16 of the 7th schedule of the Local Government Act 2002 to comply with the Taupō District Council Code of Conduct and the Taupō District Council standing orders.
I, Yvonne Joy Turnbull Westerman, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform to the best interest of the Taupō District the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Councillor of the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 and any other act. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16 of the 7th schedule to the Local Government Act 2002 to comply with the Taupō District Code of Conduct and the Taupō District Council standing orders.
Before I start, I'd just like to say in advance, aroha mai for my pronunciation. I'm still learning, but I wanted to do my declaration bilingually, as I believe it's important to embrace both languages as we move forward with the right intentions together, harmonising in our diversities. Toitu he wakaputanga, toitu te tiriti. Ko au, ko Hope Marie Woodward, e whakapoaki nei, ka mau pono me te tōkeke atu, e ai ki oku pukinga, me oku whakawātanga, ka whakatutuki, me ka mahia, ina paina, mō te rohi o Taupō, the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a Councillor of the Taupō District Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. Those duties include the requirements under clauses 15.4 and 16 of the 7th schedule to the Local Government Act 2002. Hei whakatika atu ki te ture a whanaunga mō te konehira a rohi o Taupō. me ngā tunga whakahau no te kaunihera arohi o Taupō.
I guess with the nod from the Chief Executive, I'm now chairing this meeting. It is with great honour to welcome you all to this inaugural meeting, certainly my inaugural meeting of our new council. Today marks not just the beginning of a new era, but the culmination of a shared commitment to serve the people of our district with integrity, transparency and purpose. I'd like to take a moment to warmly acknowledge our friends and family here with us all today, along with the new councillors. Your support, encouragement and belief in our elected members is deeply appreciated. Your presence reminds us that leadership is never a solo journey. Also wish to acknowledge our outgoing Mayor, David Truavis. His leadership and service over the years have left a lasting legacy. We thank him sincerely for his dedication to our district and the steady hand he brought to the role. To our newly elected councillors, congratulations. You each bring unique perspectives, strengths and aspirations to our table. Together we form a team entrusted with the responsibilities of shaping the future of our communities. Let us approach this term with courage, collaboration and compassion. Let's listen deeply, act wisely and lead boldly. I look forward to the journey ahead with each of you. Thank you. We're now moving on to item 5.3, appointment of a Deputy Mayor. This has taken some time and much discussion, and I thank you for all of those that helped me. I've chosen to appoint Kevin Taylor as the Deputy Mayor, and I'd like to congratulate Councillor Kevin Taylor and wish him all the best in his role as Deputy Mayor. Can I have a mover and a seconder for the motion, please? It was moved by Councillor Westerman and seconded by Nahuria Foreman. Thank you for the willingness to support that. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Contrary, against, carried. Thank you very much. We're now on to item 5.4, which is legislative advice for the incoming council. And I call on Nigel McCarty to provide us that advice. Thank you, Nigel.
Thank you, Your Worship and councillors. Now for the fun stuff. Legislative advice for the incoming council. I have to say, having done a couple of these in the past, it does feel like things can fall a little flat after the excitement of this morning and now having done your declarations. But it is a legal requirement, so just bear with me while we go through it. I don't intend to really go through the paper in detail. I'll take the paper as read. You've all read the material. But I just want to say I don't think there's anything that's covered in the paper that is particularly controversial. But this is, however, a good opportunity for you all to get a solid foundation in your role as elected members. And look, it's important to understand the legal framework in which you all now need to operate. I propose just to focus on three things today: the Local Government Act, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act, and the Local Authorities Members' Interests Act. So the Local Government Act is obviously a good place to start. Councils are what they call creatures of statute, and by that I mean they are formed by an act of Parliament. And what that means is that any government of the day can change the legal framework in which you operate, literally by the stroke of a pen. And you will have seen that recently with the government's reform program in the areas of water, resource management, the Building Act and the Local Government Act itself. Councils currently have a broad purpose. In fact, they have two broad purposes. Firstly, to enable community democracy, and secondly, to address, at the moment, the four broad areas of community well-being, being social, economic, environmental and cultural. The previous Local Government Act, which was 1974, was very prescriptive, and by that I mean that it listed in great detail what a council could do, and anything outside what was listed was out of bounds. The new Local Government Act, now more than 20 years old, provides much more flexibility in what a council can do. But the quid pro quo for that flexibility means the council is required to follow certain steps in its decision making to demonstrate that council's considered all the options and the views, or the relevant options and the views and preferences of its community when making decisions. The more important the decision, the more stringent the decision-making criteria are, and the better the council needs to record the steps taken when making its decision. You will see this decision-making processes set out in future council and committee papers that you receive, and which require a decision from you. And the reason for doing this is that demonstrates that the council is acting lawfully when making decisions, and this helps protect both the council as a whole and you personally, because you are entitled to rely on professional and expert advice when making decisions. Turning to the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act, it's a mouthful, so LGOIMA is what we refer to it. You'll get used to these acronyms. The Office of the Auditor General says that official information is core business for a council, and that speaks to one of the principles in Section 14 of the Local Government Act, which is that business should be conducted in an open, transparent and democratically accountable manner. Be aware that you will be subject to LGOIMA whenever you are acting in your official capacity as an elected member, and that means that your communications will be liable for release regardless of the device that they're stored on. Highly contentious matters which have a high level of public interest component will tend to favour release, so just my advice to you is just to be conscious of that in your communications going forward. On the other hand, I would say that confidentiality must be observed and respected. This is critical for good governance and good decision making, and a failure to respect confidentiality may breach standing orders, generate a code of conduct complaint, or cause a loss to the council. Just a word on workshops. These are by default open to the public, and they are often used to provide you with complex and detailed information that would be impracticable to provide you at a formal council meeting. They are open by default. If it is closed to the public, there will be a very good reason under LGOIMA for doing so. For example, the council may need to be considering sensitive commercial information, for example. And the LGOIMA reasons will be used as a guide to close the workshop. Lastly, the Local Authorities Members' Interests Act, or LAMIA, for the acronym for that one. You need to know about this one because a breach can lead to automatic disqualification from office and a criminal conviction. So serious stuff. The basic premise is that members cannot take advantage of their official position for financial gain, so it's common sense. There are two main rules under LAMIA. Firstly, the contracting rule. This means that you can't be concerned or interested in a contract with the council worth greater than $25,000 plus GST in any financial year. And just a note, I think it's in the paper that there's legislative change coming which proposes to raise that threshold to $100,000. Not there yet, so we're still with the $25,000 threshold. And secondly, there's the non-participation rule, which means that members cannot take part in decision making on matters in which they have a financial interest, other than an interest which is called in common with the public, and that can be quite difficult to determine. And also identifying an indirect financial interest can be tricky as well. You may have a deemed financial interest through your partner or spouse. You may have a deemed interest through an interest that you or your partner or spouse have in a company. You may be a beneficiary of a family trust that has a financial interest in a matter before the council. So I guess the message is just to be aware of those potential deemed financial interests, and the key message really is to seek advice early. We're here to help you. If we identify something that may be an issue, we can go to the Auditor General in advance and get clearance for you to take part before it becomes a problem. So I guess the paper contains more information, but those are my key messages for today. I will remind you that we are having a session with Simpson Grierson next Tuesday. Lawyers from Wellington, they will take you through in more detail around these local government law matters. They're going to cover the legal framework for local government decision making, elected member responsibilities, and there'll be some more information about managing conflicts of interest in that session. Other legislation affecting elected members, the Privacy Act is an obvious one, and some information about current and progressing reforms. So, Your Worship, that's my paper. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Nigel. Are there any questions from the members?
It's an easy crowd.
Would someone like to move and second that we accept?
Yeah, I'll move.
Thank you, Hope. Is there a seconder for that? Thank you, Mahoney Murch. All those in favour say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. Thank you. We now move on to item 5.5. Before we do, this is just really housekeeping matters. You're welcome to stay, but if you feel that you want to move on, you won't offend me, and I'm sure you won't offend any of the others in the room here. But item 5.5 is schedule of council meetings for the remainder of 2025. And I invite Karen Watts to speak to the members.
Thank you, Your Worship. So as explained, we have considered 2 meetings to be held for the remainder of this year. So one on the 25th of November and another one on the 16th of December. So really just easy. Hopefully that works for everyone.
Can we have a mover and a seconder for that? Councillor Shepherd moved, second to Councillor Greenslade. All those in favour say aye. Contrary, no. Carried. So thank you very much. I think that's the end of my first meeting. Hopefully subsequent ones get better. But thank you for your attendance.
So perhaps if we can all stand for the karakia whakamutu now.